Hey, welcome to Advanced Training 2. For those of you guys that don't know who I am, my name is John Baker, and I'm going to be running your guys' training for today. As you're watching this video right now, that means that you're in the middle of your Fast Start contest, which is super exciting. You guys just came from Advanced Training 1, where you learned the secret weapon, secret to getting more names and numbers for your list. Today, we're going to be working on how to get better on the phone and how to create more appointments for the remainder of your Fast Start contest. All of you guys in your Fast Start contest are in one of three positions right now. Either you got off to a fast start, you're crushing it, you're just kind of sprinting through everything, you had a couple of promotions your first weekend, maybe you got your first couple sales on Tuesday, and you're heading into the team meeting with a full head of steam. Then there's some of you guys that just don't feel like you're on track to hitting your goal. Good news for you, it's not about how you start your Fast Start contest, it's all about how you finish. A great example is Michaela Ramos. She was one of my past representatives in my office. She got off to a very challenging start, had a lot of appointments cancel, reschedule, a lot of no sales her first weekend. But after Advanced Training 2, she got her first sale. Next day, she hit her first promotion, went to Advanced Training number 2, and booked up a few more appointments with the things that I'm going to teach you guys today. And then she ended up hitting $10,000 by the end of her Fast Start contest. Then there's the third group of you guys that are just right there in the middle, right? It's like you got a few sales, you might be somewhere around 500 to your first promotion. You've got a few no sales, and you're just kind of content with where you are. The goal out of this training is to help you guys create more names and numbers to be able to call and feel confident on those next steps to help you push it and hit your goal for your Fast Start contest. First things first, I just want to talk about who you should be focusing on next to do your first few appointments as you go throughout your Fast Start contest. First thing I always recommend everybody is to stick with your initial list. These are the names and numbers that you created your first and second day of training of all the possible people you can do appointments with. The biggest mistake that a new representative makes is they hop off of this list too soon. The reason why I want you guys to stick on this list is for your confidence. Those of you guys that play video games, think about, I'm going to use Call of Duty as an example because I'm terrible at Call of Duty, but think about like the first time you played Call of Duty, first time you played online, you sucked, right? You didn't do very well. And what did you do? You continued to practice with your local friend group. You practice by yourself. So this way you can get better. Then the next time that you played online, guess what? You're a little bit more aware, a little bit quicker with the trigger, and you end up improving and getting better over time. Now, if we look at you, you guys are probably 1 millionth prestige, and you guys are just fantastic. But that's what we want you guys to do with this job, right? We have you start off with your friends, family, everybody that's close to you to build up your confidence and build up your skill set. Because when you start doing appointments with people that you don't know as well, you feel a different pressure. And the more practice that you have and the better skills you have going into that first appointment, you're going to just do great when you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Think about it like this. If you haven't completed your first 10 to 20 appointments, you still have a ton of people that you can see, that you can practice with. And I want you guys to start thinking about who is your next best 5, right? Your first weekend, the focus was to see your first best 5, then your next best 5. Now, depending on where you're at, who is your next best 5 or your next top 10? That's what I really want everybody to focus on, is just who are those next people that you're going to do. And now we might start dipping our toes into your chicken list. All right, your chicken list, these are the people that you know that you could call to do a demo, but you just don't want to for whatever that reason is. Right? I think about like my cousin. I didn't want to call him. He was like the perfect Mac customer. I didn't want to call him because like he had a lot of money, and I was like, I didn't want to call him just because I knew he had money. And that wasn't the point. He was actually really excited to see me, and he was actually kind of upset that I didn't call him his first weekend because he loves to cook. Right? He loves to cook. His family loves to cook, and he wanted to tell all his friends about it and help me out just because like we're family. So it's just like start to think about who is your next best 5. The other reason why I want you guys to stick on your initial list is the people that you know, the people that love you, they're going to want to help you out a little bit more than just the average person, right? So it's like when you do an appointment with auntie, right? And you tell auntie, I'm trying to pay for college, I'm trying to provide for my family, I'm trying to do hit these different goals, right? They're going to want to give you more referrals. right? So that's how you can get a large amount of referrals like that. The average is about 5 to 10, but with family, people that are close to you, you should be thinking 20, 30, 40, 50, right? Those are going to be the people that are going to give you like the big amounts of names and numbers to call. Okay, now let me show you guys a couple of scripts that will help you to reach out to some of these people that might be on your chicken list or the people that you might be nervous to reach out to. So if you guys scroll below on myvectordemo.com, we're underneath the phoning section. If you guys scroll down underneath your phoning section, underneath the possible customer questions, and underneath this picture of Stacy, you'll see where it says getting phone numbers. Here's a great place to start. So first, method one, it says go through your phone. All right, like think about how many contacts that you guys have just in your phone alone. Method two is to call friends to get your parents' numbers, right? They're called friends for a reason. Your friends are always going to be down to help you out. So there's a couple ways to reach out to your friends here. So if you're going to send them a message, these are for like a script for your friends that you only have on Snapchat or Twitter or something like that. You'll just say, hey, John, I hope all is well. And you can adjust this a little bit. You see right here where it says okay to personalize, like make it you, make it sound like you, make it authentic. I have a really quick question, but it's too long to type. Can I have your number and give you a call? All right, so now the reason why we want to call them is because we can add emotion to it, right? We can connect better with them, and also we get results the fastest way that way. You guys know, like when you're messaging your friend on Snapchat, on Twitter, on IG, sometimes it takes you a whole week to kind of get through one little topic on a message thread. So we want to try to get things happening right away. So here's the script. Once you do get their phone number, this is the script that you guys are going to call. And you'll text them if you just can't get a hold of them at like the last case scenario. But hey, John, I just need you to do me a quick favor. I'm calling all of my friends right now. I started this new job and I'm actually in this huge contest to earn a scholarship. All I have to do is a really quick presentation for people and get their opinion on something. It's pretty easy to do, but I have to see people that are over 30 and own a home. I was thinking your parents fit that description. I have to actually call them and ask them personally about it. Even if they're too busy to do it, that's fine. It helps just to call them and ask them about it. So who's easier to talk to, your mom or your dad? Cool. Let me get their phone number really quick. And it would really help me out. Thank you so much. I gotta go, but I really appreciate this. This helps a ton. Okay, so right there, that's just like a quick phone script. You're just gonna say that to them. And if you're not in school, you could just add this, right? Like I am in a huge contest with my new job I just started. Okay, so you want to just read the script word for word right there. It works pretty much every time. All right, now here's how you handle any questions that they might have up. So if you just scroll up right here underneath questions, sometimes you'll have that friend that was like, oh yeah, for sure, dude, I'll text you their number. Here's how you respond. No worries. I actually have a pen and paper right in front of me and I could just write it down really quick. And we all know like friends lag sometimes. Sometimes they'll say like, oh yeah, I'll text it to you right now. And then now it's just like you're playing this waiting game. And then you also don't want to start to bug them and get, it's just easier to just get it right then and there. And also, you know your mom and dad's number like off the top of your head. Like that's one number that I memorize and always will memorize. Let's say your buddy asks you like, oh, are you trying to sell my parents something, or are you selling something? Be honest, right? Just like, yes. But what's cool about it is they don't have to buy anything. So there's no pressure at all. Whether I actually sit down with them or just talk to them over the phone for 60 seconds, it still helps. Don't worry, I promise I won't bother them. And it's actually really fun. So can you help me out? Okay. And that's the thing. Like we let them know like, yeah, it helps you either way, right? It helps you with those skills just by talking to them and reading through your scripts again. But here's what happens most of the time. Most of the time everyone says yes and they're down to help out their kid's friend. All right, now let me ask them first. All right, let me ask them first. Hey, that's okay, but like I said, I'm really supposed to talk to them myself to compete for my scholarship. I wouldn't be doing this if I thought it was gonna bug your parents. It won't take a lot of time, and I'm sure that they won't be mad at you for helping out your friend. So can you help me out? They're really busy, or I'm not sure if they would want to. Hey, no big deal. Worst thing that could happen is that they say no. And then it still helps me towards my contest. It literally takes 60 seconds for me to talk to them on the phone. So it won't take too much of their time. So, bro, can you help me out? what's this presentation about? I'm just doing some cool stuff for the kitchen. Like I said, it's really easy and they don't have to commit to seeing it or buying anything. I just have to call and ask them. If they say that they're busy, then no big deal. So again, can you help me out? And I want to remind you guys, what's the purpose of the phone call? Purpose of the phone call is just to book the appointment, right? So especially if you're talking to one of your friends trying to get their parents' phone number, the purpose of that phone call is just to get the parents' phone number, not to try to sell your friend on Cutco. All right, because no one's going to understand how great it is until they actually get a chance to see it and go through the demo. So try to be simple, straight to the point, and let them know it's like, hey, I'm not trying to bug them. I'm just trying to work really hard to get after my goals. Okay, so these are some tips right here to help you guys continue to get more phone numbers. Right, so like here's how the flow should kind of go. First is like your initial list, right? Your close immediate family. Then it should be like your close family and friends, right? So think about like your best friend, your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, right? Maybe some family, close family friends, right? Maybe it's like that family that you don't really talk to that often. They live across the country. Then you move on to your chicken list, right? And then it just kind of goes from there. All right. So the goal is to do as many appointments as you can by Monday. Another thing I wanted to add here is utilizing your biggest resource, which is mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. All right. Now, when in your fast start contest or whenever you're in a big contest, you want to always try to get the people that are closest to you bought in on the goal as well. Think back to when you were a kid. Maybe you were trying to do a fundraiser for school. Maybe you were a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout and you're selling cookies or popcorn or whatever the case may be, right? Who did you go to first? You go to mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, your aunt that was like your biggest supporter, and you just tell them like, hey, I have this huge goal. I'm trying to sell this much cookie dough. I'm trying to do this so I could go on this fundraiser. And you shared that goal with them with energy and passion. So in your fast start, if you feel like you're like, who should I call next? Like sit down with your biggest supporter, right? If it's your mom, like for example, with me, my mom, when I did my very first appointment, it was terrible. I didn't know how to ask for recommendations properly. So my mom only gave me 5 and she was like, that's it. All right. And then midway through my fast start contest, I sat down with my mom again after all the stuff I learned from Advanced Training 1. And I asked her for more recommendations. And I was like, Mom, really trying to hit this goal. I want to pay for school. And I shared all my reasons and motivations behind it. And guess what happened? My mom sat down, and this is when back before our app, and she wrote out 20 by hand new people that I could show. Think about it. Your parents, they're at least twice your age. So they know twice as many people than you do. So sit down with all those people and just express that you get paid just to do all the appointments. They don't have to buy anything. You're just trying to do as many appointments to get more practice with your new job. And then they'll help you out. Now let's review the schedule. After doing this brainstorm exercise where you're thinking of some more names and numbers with your parents, friends, other people that are on your chicken list or your initial names list, now you know who you're going to call. Now we need to plan this out properly for the remainder of your fast start. So this way you can maximize your opportunity here. So let's look back at the schedule. All right, right now we are on day 5, which is Wednesday. So we're at the exact halfway point for your schedule. So you guys are going to be watching Advanced Training through this video. After sometime later on today, we're going to have our team event. Usually our team events are going to be every Wednesday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. You always want to have that time slot blocked out in your schedule because the team meetings are so important. That was important to my success. That was probably important to your manager's success while they're working here, because this is where we arrive to get better every single week. We have our top new representatives that are teaching what's working for them. And these are new skill sets you guys can add on to your demos, add on to your skill. So this way you can get better week in and week out. So you never want to miss a team meeting. Also, that's another time where you guys can schedule a lot of these appointments. So if you're watching this video in the morning, you can have this names list and your top 5, your next best 5. So your top 10 to 15 people ready to call at the team event. So that way we can get the week flying and you can finish your fast start strong. All right. Every Thursday, we run a phone jam from 6 to 8 p.m. And you're going to access that from wrphonejam.com. And you can sign up. Make sure you sign up under the South Coast Division. And every 6 to 8 p.m., these phone jams are optional. However, I always say that they're mandatory for your success in your first 10 days. Because if you're going for a $10,000 fast start, you got to fall in love with the phone, and you want to make sure you have enough appointments to hit your goal. The only time I've ever seen somebody not hit their 10K fast start goal is just because they didn't book enough appointments. So we have a phone jam on Thursday. On Saturday morning, it's not up here on this schedule, but on Saturday mornings from 9 to 10:30, we also do a Champions Club. And during that Champions Club, we also make phone calls. And then on Sundays, we have a phone jam from 6 to 8. And you definitely want to be at that phone jam to finish your fast start strong for our Miracle Monday. And then anything else that you have to do during your week, you can plug that into your schedule, and then you can kind of book all your appointments around there. But right there on the schedule that I'm showing you guys here, this is just a maximized schedule. If you had nothing else going on besides Cutco, that's how many possible appointments you guys can squeeze in. However, I know most of you guys have class, you guys have practice, and you might have another job or something like that. So just plug that into your schedule and then figure out how many appointments you guys can book around that. Now, when we're looking at this schedule, at the team event, the focus of the team event is to make sure you have your Thursday and Fridays full. That's all you want to focus at when you guys come to the team event on Wednesday. Make sure your Thursday gets filled up first. Make sure your Friday gets filled up next. All right, you'll most likely be able to get your Thursday filled up at the team meeting. You might not have enough time to book your full Friday. So that's why we have that Thursday night phone jam. So this way you can fill in any gaps for your Friday and then also start setting up your Saturday appointments. Sunday is to start booking your Monday and then also your Tuesday. So that way you can start the next week off strong. Now let's talk about Magic Miracle Monday. This is the last day of your fast start contest, and this day you want to try to go big. I view Miracle Monday kind of like the night before a paper or a final is due, and that's where you're kind of like cramming and you have the most intensity on your work just because it's due the next day, right? And same thing with Magic Miracle Monday. That is the last day of your contest, and you want to take full advantage. You want to make sure you have the most appointments on this day. You want to just kind of load it up, let customers know. You can also drive urgency to them buying today. Is like if they're like, oh, I'll buy it next week. No, lady, you cannot, because my contest ends at midnight. So Miracle Magic Mondays are so much fun. They're really fantastic. But also on this day, you're going to want to make sure you have a list ready of people to call, right? The people that maybe they didn't buy your first weekend, or they said they'll buy later, or they had to think about it. You want to call all of those individuals on that Monday. So this way you can get some last minute phone orders as well. Your managers, talk to your managers about how to maximize your Magic Monday to finish your fast start strong. So this way you can hit your goal. Okay, now let's talk about phone skills and how to convert to scheduling more appointments throughout your contests. So the first thing is we want to focus on the amount of calls, action first. And remember in training, we told you use the 4-to-1 ratio. Typically for every 4 phone calls you make, 1 person picks up. That's great for your family and your close friends, because you got to remember, these people, they have your phone number saved. So they're more likely to answer. Now, when we start to call referrals and people that you don't know or that don't have your number saved, now we want to use the 10-to-1 averages. So typically for every 10 phone calls you make, 1 person will pick up. So don't be surprised if you make 8 phone calls and nobody's answering. Just keep calling until somebody does. The numbers will always average out, right? And it doesn't always work out as perfect. Like on your 10th call, you schedule 1, right? Sometimes you might make 14 calls and then schedule 1, but then your 16th call, you schedule another 1. And then now at 20 calls, the averages comes down to 10-to-1. Sometimes you'll have good phone sessions where you'll book 5 appointments in those 10 calls, and you're like, John, you don't even know what you're talking about. But then all I'm gonna say is like, well, keep going, right? If you planned on making 20 calls and you already booked 5 in your first 10, imagine what the next 10 will average out. So you definitely want to take advantage of that and make as many phone calls as you can. Always give a choice of 2 times. For example, hey, does Thursday at 6 or does 8:30 work better for you? All right. And then let's say those 2 times don't work. Then again, offer another 2 times. How about, okay, so Thursday, that's a bad day. Okay, awesome. How about Friday? at 2, or does Saturday at 12:35 work better for you? You always want to give these two times, just because you want to make the customer's job as easy as possible. Make it as easy as possible for your customer to set up an appointment with you. I know we've all had friends or girlfriends, significant others, boyfriends, where we got into the ultimate debate of all of mankind, which is, what do you want to eat? Right? I know, right? Sometimes we spend hours trying to figure out where we want to eat because it's so broad of a question, right? There's so many possibilities. Same thing with times, right? There's so many possibilities. So make it as easy as possible for your customers. If you want to use this with your friends, you just do it like this. Hey, what do you guys want to eat today? Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, right? And it's like In-N-Out all day, right? It always wins. So same thing when you're scheduling your appointments. Hey, does 6 or 8:30 work better? Hey, does Friday or Saturday work better? And then make sure you're sharing your appointment goals. So make sure you're sharing your appointment goals with your customers. If your goal is to do 10 appointments this week, let them know, like, hey, Mrs. Jones, my goal is to do 10 appointments. I already have 6 scheduled. I just need 4 more to hit my goal. Along with sharing your goal, we want to create urgency. So it's like, hey, Mrs. Jones, my goal is to do 10 appointments. I already have 6 scheduled. I just need 4 more to hit my goal by Monday. Is there any way you can squeeze me in tomorrow at 12, or would 6:30 be better for you? So you notice how we hit all those things right there, all those tips right there, just in that one phrasing. All right. And so we want to create urgency on the phone. It gives your customer a deadline. And so now they're going to try to help you find a way to get that appointment done before your deadline. And then always control your follow-ups, right? Let's say like your customer just doesn't have a time right then and there. Now it's just like, okay, hey, Mrs. Jones, like, can I follow up with you tomorrow? Or you want to like have a specific day and time that you're going to follow up with that customers. However, we just don't want to, we want to try to avoid the follow-ups as much as possible, but make sure you always get a specific day and time and kind of confirm with your customers. But then also with that follow-up, you could possibly turn that into an appointment, right? This is where your skill kind of comes into play. So if your customer's like, I'm not in front of my calendar right now, just like, okay, no worries. What's a better day for me to follow up with you? Thursday or Friday, right? And now they say Friday. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But now they're like, Friday. Okay, Friday at whatever time, 6:30. Okay, awesome, Mrs. Jones. So you're gonna be free Friday at 6:30. That's gonna be the best time for me to follow up with you. Great. Hey, actually, I'm looking at my schedule right now on Susie, and is there any way you can just squeeze me in Friday at 6:30? So you see what we did right there, how we just kind of rephrased that over to the customers. And then utilize your connection, right? Utilize your connection. And what I mean by this is, how do you know this person? If it's your aunt, right? It's like, come on, aunt, like, don't you love me? Right? Now maybe it's your best friend's mom. Right. So you want to utilize like your best friend. Like, yeah, me and Johnny have been going way back, and he knew that you would be nice enough to help me out. Right. So you want to try to utilize your connection as best as you can. And then you always want to use the magic firm up phrase. So this is how to avoid getting your appointments rescheduled on you. Let me show you the magic firm up phrase. So, hey, Mrs. Jones, thank you so much again. I know this appointment probably doesn't mean that much to you, but it means the world to me. Each one gets me closer to staying on track for that scholarship or for my goal. So I really appreciate you helping me out. Always end all your calls with that, because it hits on so many good points right there. Like, again, you're telling them thank you. Now your customers can feel how sincere you are. They can tell that you're working really hard towards this goal, and they're not going to want to miss this. They're not going to want to mess up a scholarship opportunity for a student. Like, people know how expensive school can be. All right, so those are just some of the tips here. Now we're going to transition into the phone scripts. Let's start off with our acquaintance approach. This phone approach is to be used with people that you know kind of well, right? It's like you're just kind of on a first name basis with them. They know your name, or they can recognize you. If they saw you, you could recognize them. Or you can use this with like neighbors. Maybe you're just on a wave hi bye basis with this. Maybe a friend's parent, never like really built a relationship with them, but you know who they are. because they always pick up their friend. Maybe you wave at them, see how they're doing, so on and so forth. But people that you just don't have a strong connection with. All right, so just go ahead and follow along with me. We're going to be calling one of my mom's coworkers. That's what we're going to use as an example. All right, so I'm going to be like, hey, is this Heather? Hey, Heather, this is John Baker. I don't know if my name rings a bell, but you work with my mom over at the school district. How are you doing today? And then usually they're going to respond like, oh, yeah, your mom. Yeah, my mom's Lisa Baker. Yeah, Lisa Baker. Okay, great. And then great. I was hoping you could help me out with something that I'm working on for school. Do you have a minute? And then they're going to say, sure. What's up? Okay, well, right now I'm a sophomore at UCR, and this summer I'm actually working with a company trying really hard to earn a scholarship for college. My assignment is really simple. Basically, I just get paid to show a product to people who I've been personally recommended to. But the cool thing about it is, since I get paid just to show it to you, you don't have to buy anything. And I just needed to get your opinion on it, and it's really quick. It's a lot of fun, and it's quick and easy, and it can actually help me win a scholarship from the company. By the way, I can do the presentation right over the phone. You just need to be in front of a computer or a tablet and have internet access. I need to do 10 appointments by Monday. So I was hoping I could schedule a call with you Thursday at 6:30, or would 8:30 be a little bit better for you? All right, you wait for them to respond with the time, set a time. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. Can I grab your email address really quick so I can send you a confirmation? Thank you so much. I have us down for Thursday at 6:30, correct? Okay, great. I'm looking forward to our call. I'll see you Thursday at 6:30. Thank you again. Okay, something super quick and simple. Again, if you're not a student or you're not working towards a scholarship, you can replace that with whatever goal that you're trying to accomplish, or it's just like, hey, I just started this new job, so on and so forth. Okay, perfect. So that's that. All right, now you guys will notice it hits all those points that we just covered previously, right? We offer the 2 times, we have a deadline that we're trying to achieve, and we also establish the connection, right? Where I was like, hey, you work with my mom over at the school district. So now she's like, oh yeah, I know your mom, so I automatically know you, right? And the power of association is so great just because it creates trust. All right, so that's the acquaintance approach. That's what you're going to use for those the people that you just don't have a super strong connection with, but you know who they are. All right, now we're going to scroll down here on my vector demo, and again, we're in the phoning section, and now we're down where it says referral phone approach. So this is the approach that we're going to use for people that we don't know, people that we've never met, and we've only been referred to. All right, now when we're using this approach, make sure you take your time. Always take your time while you're reading the approach so people can understand you and hear you clearly, and just kind of go ahead and follow along with me as we go throughout this, and then we'll review it after I'm done. Okay, so hi, is this Susie? Hey, Susie, this is John Baker. I'm not sure if you know me personally, but I was talking with Susie, or did I already say Susie? I was talking with Jimmy the other day, and and he brought your name up. Did he mention that I would be calling? Oh, no? Okay, I'm so sorry. I must have beat him to it. Do you have a quick second? Well, Jimmy and I were talking, and your name came up because he said you'd be nice enough to help me out. Right now, I'm a student at UCR studying business. And right now, I'm just working with a company to gain some business and communication skills and build up my resume. I also have a shot at winning a scholarship for school. My assignment is to show a product called Cutco to people that have been personally recommended to and get your opinion on it, and also on me. Have you ever heard of Cutco before? And then you kind of wait for them to respond. You come up for air right here, and they're either going to say yes or no. All right, if they say no, oh, okay, no problem. It's just, and then you just continue. If they say yes, they have, oh, great. How long have you had it for? Oh, that's super awesome. And then you just jump right into your script. So I do the presentation right over the phone. You just need to be in front of a laptop or a computer at home. You definitely don't have to get anything because I get paid just to show it. In order for me to stay on track for my scholarship or my goal, I need to do 10 appointments before Monday. So I was hoping I could show you tomorrow at 7, or would Friday at 3 be better for you? Okay, great. Tomorrow at 7. Thank you so much. Can I get your email address so I can send you the confirmation and the link? Thank you again. Could you grab a pen and a piece of paper really quick, Susie? Yeah, great, great. Go ahead and write it down that we're set up for Thursday at 7 o'clock. And again, my name is John Baker, John Baker, and our appointment is on Saturday at 12 p.m., correct? And if you could please draw a huge smiley face, so this way you recognize me. I smile a ton. Now, just so you know, I have appointments back to back, and I'm working really hard to hit my goal. I'm working really hard to win a scholarship. So are you sure this time works for you? Perfect. Thank you so much. With this helps me a ton. I'm really looking forward to our appointment tomorrow at 7, Thursday at 7. All right, cool. Sounding pretty good, right? So you just got to follow the script. Take your time. And this is why it's so important to do as many practice appointments as you can throughout your Fast Start contest, right? It's like, think about it. If you have a big family of 60 people, that's like 60 times you get to practice this before you even like do your first live appointment. So definitely take advantage of that. Let's go over why following the script is just so important. Okay, so when we first get up here, you'll notice that there's like a little edit mistake when I was reading this. I said a guy recommended me. So all of the terminology here is like, it says she, it says her, so on and so forth, so on and so forth right there. So just make a mental note of that. You're gonna have to adjust that. But this opening, you just want to act as if you go way back with this person. You guys already know each other. So you just like, hey, is this Susie? Or hey, Susie? Hey, this is John. I'm not sure if you know me personally, but I was talking to Billy or Robbie the other day, right? And you use that other friend, act like you and that other friend or that referral go way back as well. Even if you've only met that referral just for your appointment that one time, act as if you guys go way back or you guys are close friends, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm friends with Sydney. Did he mention that I was calling? Oh, okay, he did it. No worries. All right, and then you just continue from there. So you want to just kind of assume, act as if you guys go get along. You already know each other. You guys have already heard about each other. Just act as it. All right, and then you come right here. So this part, if you're not paying attention, this could throw you off. You just say, well, and then the referral's name goes in that first blank. So, well, Jimmy and I were talking and your name came up because he said that you'd be nice enough to help me out. I'm a student, and then you share what you're trying to accomplish. Cool. Now, my assignment is to show a product called Cutco to people that have been personally recommended to, get your opinion, and have you ever heard of Cutco before? So this is a great chance to let your customer kind of respond a little bit more. And they might ask you like, oh no, what is Cutco? All right. And if they ask what is Cutco, you're gonna scroll up. All right. So if you scroll up, you'll see all your objections right here where it says handling questions on the phone. Now, if you scroll down, it has a couple common questions, right? Or common objections right here, where maybe they're like, oh, I'm too busy. I don't think I'll be able to help you, right? And you just scroll down right here like, hey, no problem, Susie. That's why I'll be in and out before you know it. Do you think you'd be nice enough to squeeze me in either on Thursday or Friday? Right, and you see that squeeze, you want to like emphasize it. Like, anyway, you can squeeze me in right there. All right, let's come back up here. All right, so this part where you offer the times, right? So you want to make sure you offer your 2 times. Hey, so I'm trying to do this many appointments by Monday, so this gap's always going to be Monday right there. So I was hoping I could show you and this is where your schedule comes into play. You want to make sure your schedule is up so that way you guys can like offer your times. And it's also good to know what times you're going to offer before you make that phone call. All right, set a time, thank them, get email address, thank them again. Also in this section, it's not in the manual, but this would also be a good time to confirm, hey, is your significant other going to be there, right? Is your husband going to be there, and so on and so forth, because we want to make sure we see both of them together. Now, the reason why we have them spell out your name is it's going to help them remember it. So the goal of this script is to make you as memorable as possible, right? Because think about how many times your customers are on the phone throughout the day. right? How many times they have people that call them and say whatever. You want to be the most memorable person of their day, and you want them to be looking forward to this appointment. So again, my name is John, John Baker, right? And it just kind of sticks into the brain a little bit more. And then you notice right here, I asked, I was like, hey, our appointment is on Thursday at 7, correct? You're asking that as a question to make sure your customer was listening. I know you know what when the appointment's supposed to be, but we want to make sure that the customer has that dialed in their mind. And sometimes as you get a little bit more skilled, I'll just say the wrong time, like 6:30, right? And they'll be like, no, I thought it was 7. Oh, okay, thank you for catching me right there, Mrs. Jones. All right, and then draw a big smiley face next to my name. This is where they're gonna really memorize you, because it kind of catches them off guard a little bit, where they're just like, what? Smiley face? Yeah, big smiley face. Like if you wear glasses, you can say like, hey, add some glasses. If you have long curly hair, add some long curly hair to it. I just want you to recognize me when I get there. And they're gonna do like a chuckle. They're like, oh man, that was funny, that was cute, whatever. All right, so it just helps them remember you, and you want to be the highlight of their day when you're making this phone call. All right, and then you just confirm. This last line is probably the most important line here. So just so you know, I have appointments back to back, and I'm working really hard to hit my goal. So are you sure that time works for you? And this is where we're firming up the appointment. We want to make sure that they are sure. And even if you notice your customer is a little hesitant, where they're like, ooh, actually, you know what? No, that's fine. That's fine. Don't just take that and like, are you sure, Mrs. Jones? I want to make sure, because I count on every appointment that I have. So if are you sure you want to just find a better day? Doesn't sound like you're confident. Right. And then they'll either say, yeah, actually, do you have any openings on Friday? Right. And then now you can actually get a time that you and the customer are going to be confident about being there at. All right. And then sometimes they'll just be like, no, actually, that was good. I thought I had something, but we're good. Perfect, Miss Jones. I thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to meeting you. And then you're done. All right. So that's the referral approach right there. This one is a little bit more detailed, because it's somebody that you haven't met before. So you want to make sure you give them all the proper information and expectations. Okay. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with is how to handle questions on the phone. So when we scroll down right here, as you guys can see, there's a lot of different questions that we can be prepared for, that can come up. Here's my advice to you. Take your time. All right, take your time and just be honest. So if you get a question that you don't know how to handle, just be like, hey, Mrs. Jones, that's a great question. I'm actually brand new. So I'm still learning everything, but does Thursday or Friday work better for you? Okay, great. Friday. How does 3 o'clock or 4:30? Perfect. So that's like your cop out at like the last resort if you don't know how to handle. But I'm not going to go over all these with you guys, but I am going to highlight some of the most common ones that you guys will receive. Right. So the first one is, I already own it. I already own it. So we have over 20 million customers with Cutco. So the chances of you running into somebody that already has it are pretty high, right? Pretty high. Plus we're in Costco's, we're at all the military bases around the world. So this is like, Cutco is just it's a very known product. So be ready for this one. Here's how you respond. You want to respond excited. You should actually get really excited if the customer owns Cutco. That's awesome. How long have you had it for? Well, I get paid just for doing the presentation, and it would be great if you could give me some pointers. Also, I can inspect your knives and help you send it back to get sharpened and polished for free. It would really help me out. So would Thursday at 6 or 8 o'clock be better for you? Perfect. So that's how you handle the Cutco one. Another one that you'll get a lot that isn't always true is the busy one. Almost everybody says that they're busy. Think about it. When a friend calls you that you don't want to hang out with, you just what do you tell your friends? Oh, I'm busy. I got to help out around the house, and I got to clean up the yard, or you make up something, right? So you want to be able to handle this busy one. So when someone says that they're busy, here's how you respond. No problem, Mrs. Jones. So am I. That's why I'll be in and out before you know it. So could you squeeze me in just really quick at 6 o'clock, or would 7 o'clock be better for you? And you guys see how we said, hey, I'm actually busy too. So that's why I'm going to be going pretty quick with this. right? And now that makes your customer like kind of understand like, oh, okay, perfect. If you're busy, I'm busy. Yeah, we need this appointment to go as quickly as we can. All right. So you want your customers to kind of feel that you're on the same pace as them. Another good way to phrase this, right, is just getting really clear with your customer. Hey, Mrs. Jones, is that a bad day or just a bad time? I love this question because it helps out so many. It helps out the customer a lot. It also helps us out saving time versus throwing all these different objections and hoping one of them solves it. Sometimes it's just a bad day for your customer. You got to think about the average soccer mom and dad, right? They work from 9 to 5, come home, pick up the kids from like a babysitter, daycare, take the kids to like a soccer practice. Like sometimes they don't have the time in the day, right? So it might just be a bad day. Sometimes it's just the 2 times that you offered, there's just like, hey, I'm busy both of those times. Do you have anything earlier? Right. And then that's when you can offer some additional time. So is that a bad day or just a bad time? When somebody says, call me tomorrow or call me next week. So let's realize one thing here. We're already on the phone with them, right? So we don't want to hop off the phone with them since we already have them there. If they hop off, right, it also automatically decreases our chances at scheduling that person and getting them to pick up again. So you want to try to make the most while you're on the phone. So when someone says, call me tomorrow, I taught you guys this earlier in this video. When's the best time to get a hold of you? Oh, okay, 6 o'clock tomorrow. So you'll be home at 6, right? Okay, I actually have an opening at that time that I'm really need to fill. Is it okay if we just schedule for that time? Right? You see, we turn that call me tomorrow into an appointment. So now that customer just needs to show up to the appointment. They already made a commitment, so they're more likely to show. Now, call me next week. We don't want to schedule appointments too far out in advance, right? Like I don't want anybody, like if we're watching this video on Wednesday, I don't want you to try to schedule in an appointment for next Wednesday because most people don't even know what they're doing next Wednesday, right? So it's just, there's a lot of time that happens. A lot of things can happen. You want to try to focus within a 3-day window. All right. So when someone says, call me next week and like, hey, I can definitely do that, Mrs. Jones, but I'm in a huge contest and I need to complete 10 appointments by Monday. Is there any way you can squeeze me in before then? All right. Remember, Monday is the end of your fast start contest. Monday is also the end of our work week. So that anything you get done before Monday at midnight, that's all on your next paycheck. So we always want to try to squeeze them in by Monday, right? It's like, hey, is there any way you can squeeze me in between now and Monday, right? And then maybe they'll throw a time like, I don't really have much time, but maybe Sunday. Okay, hey, how does Sunday sound at 12 or would 2:30 be better for you? Okay. Now, if sometimes we have like some people that are just like, can't you just say you did the demo with me? I'm just like, no, Mrs. Jones, I can't lie to my boss. Besides, it's quick and fun, and there's no obligation to buy anything. I get paid just to do it, and it really helped me out. So, do you think we could do 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock? So, I always just like, no, you want me to lie, right? And now they feel bad. They're like, oh, I'm trying to get this kid to lie for his new job, right? So now they're like, okay, sure. I'm not gonna buy anything. So I want to tell you a quick story here. Like when I was a brand new representative, my first weekend, I did 10 appointments. 9 out of 10 told me that they weren't going to buy. 7 out of 10 ended up buying. Right. So almost like most people say that they're not going to buy anything. Take that with a grain of salt. All right. Just here's how you respond. No problem, Mrs. Jones. It still helps me out towards my goals just by listening. I'll be in and out before you know it. And I need to get one more by Monday. So would 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock be better for you? If they say, how long is this going to take? Not too long at all. My part's about 45 minutes. But if after 15 minutes you're not interested, you could just hang up on me. So could you squeeze me in real quick on this day or that time, that day, or like 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock? And when you say this, like, hey, but if after 15 minutes you're not interested, you could just hang up on me. Say that jokingly, like say that with a laugh or a chuckle. If you're not good at like kind of laughing or doing that sarcasticness, don't say it. All right. I don't want anybody getting kicked off. Right. So you're just saying that jokingly, but realize this too. By that point of the demo, you've already shared your goals. You're probably in the middle of the product quality video. So your customers are pretty locked in, pretty plugged in. and I'm pretty excited to finish the appointment. And out of my 10 years with the company, I've never seen anybody get kicked off their appointment in the middle of it after 15 minutes. So that's good news for everybody. And then the last one I want to cover here is like, I'm not interested. And then what are you selling? All right. So if someone says I'm not interested, still try to set that up. All right. And this comes back to how bad do you want to hit your goals? Right. If you really want to hit your goals, you want to try to do whatever you can to try to stay on track, try to convince somebody otherwise. So if someone's just like, I'm not interested, John, I'm just like, hey, no problem. You actually don't need to be interested. I get credit just for showing you. And I promise I'll keep it quick and you just be helping me out big time with my contest and scholarship chances. So is there any way you can squeeze me in real fast Thursday at 6, or would 8 o'clock be better for you? And you want to realize, like, if the customer is just like, dude, I'm not going to buy anything, just let them know again. It's like, I get paid just for doing the appointments. Like, do you think you would be willing to listen? And you got to realize this customer doesn't know you, and they don't even know what Cutco is yet. So think about the beginning of our demo. The beginning of the demo is you getting to know them getting to know you. All right. And now they're going to be bought in on you. And then they see the product. They're like, oh, this is a pretty good product. I guess I eat food. I guess I cook big chunks of food and need to make them smaller. So now they're in the market, right? And then you never know what can happen from there. But more importantly, it's like, who could they recommend you to? Maybe they don't buy, but what if they gave you like, hey, I'm not the right person for this, but here's 20 people that would be. So that's something you got to always think about. Everybody's either a lead or a source. All right. And then the last one is, what are you selling? I don't really like the word selling, because when people hear that, automatically they just want to say no. So I want you guys to change that to, what am I showing? All right. So what I'm showing is called Cutco. It's a great set of kitchen knives and gadgets. I know you probably already have tons of knives, but I get paid just to show it, and it really helps me towards my goals. So could I schedule you for Thursday at 6, or do you think 8 o'clock would be better for you? And then again, the magic phrase here, I want to show it to you guys again. The magic phrase, whenever they say yes, hey, thank you so much, Mrs. Jones, for thank you so much again. I know this appointment probably doesn't mean that much to you, but it means the world to me. Each one gets me closer to staying on track for my scholarship goal. So I really appreciate you guys helping me out with this. So there you guys go. We covered a lot today here in advanced training, and go back. All right. The beauty of being able to do advanced training on a video is you can go back and rewind as much as you need. And I also want you guys to practice and read out loud your scripts a couple of times each. So practice that acquaintance approach, read it like 2-3 times each. Then practice your referral approach, read it 2-3 times each, and actually read it out loud. Right? Reading it out loud is totally different than just reading in your mind. It's going to help you learn it a little bit faster. I just have a couple of assignments for you guys as we leave training here. And as soon as you're done watching this video, this is how I know you got to the end of the video, is I need you to text your manager. All right, text your manager on WhatsApp or give them a call and let them know your takeaways from advanced training number 2, your light bulbs. Share that with your manager. And then also, you got to complete these assignments. So the first assignment is to focus on your next best 5. Who is that? Right? Is it your best friend's parents? Is it an aunt or uncle that you haven't talked to in a long time? Is it an old boss or a manager or a coach? Right? But think of your next best 5. The second assignment is to think about how many calls you want to make per day. So this comes down to how many appointments you want to book per day. So remember the 10-to-1 ratio that we talked about earlier. So if you want to focus on booking 1 appointment per day, guess what? You need to make 10 calls on the days that you're working. If you want to schedule 2 appointments per day, you need to make 20, 3, you should strive for 30 calls. The third assignment is to continue to add to your names list. I want you guys to sit down after you're done here watching this video and just kind of brainstorm. Is like, hey, am I really maximizing all the people I'm doing the appointments with? Because here's the thing, the more appointments you do, the faster you're going to learn the program. The faster that you learn the program, the faster you're going to build your confidence. And the more confidence you have, the more sales you're going to make which equals the more income that you're going to have in your pockets. So do more appointments. It's the answer. And then the last thing that I have for you guys is to send out 25 messages to friends to get parents' numbers. Reminder, we have our team meeting. Just make sure you guys never miss a team meeting. That's every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. At the time of this recording. All right, so it is a recording, so things could change going forward, but I look forward to seeing you guys. Make sure you guys say hi to me at the next event. And I'm excited for you guys to finish your fast start contest. Remember, it's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish, and champions finish strong. Good luck.